What's up, YouTube? It is Gianni, other known as Master Beetle here, down here in Orlando, Florida, and I decided to give you a new deck profile. I basically finished my Aqua deck before the set even came out at the sneak, so I figured as soon as I was done playtesting different builds, different ideas, which you saw in the video, I tested out one build, but ultimately I decided to go with this one through testing. And let's get into it. Your starter is Officer Cadet Eric. If you don't play him, you don't see your triggers. You know, that's what my Aqua sensei tells me. And moving on to the grade 3s. You play 4 Glory Maelstrom. Obviously because Glory makes the deck for a CB1, even if you don't have a grade 3 in soul for the 10k to the front, they have to guard everything with one card and they can't intercept, which is still very powerful. You play 4 of Glory. You play 3 regular Maelstrom. Now you play 3 regular Maelstrom for the consistency of riding a Maelstrom and having a Maelstrom in soul for Glory, but with the deck's added power and added units, Maelstrom is still a little bit better because they do not want those 3rd and 4th battles to hit, and you're gonna be smacking them so hard for decent numbers too. So it's a good pressure first turn ride if you don't ride Glory first. And then for the final grade 3, playing 2 Riptide. Riptide is still amazing with regular Maelstrom and even more scary with Glory. 42 on not an Excel circle by itself with all Glory's effects active. They can only block that with a PG. So those are the 3s. On to the 2s. You play 4 Coral Assault. Coral Assault, you know, big beat stick and also a little bit of a draw engine at the same time if you do get to your 4th battle. But like one important thing to note that I see some people misplay with, and I have too, is when there's 4 or more rested, he does not count himself. It has to be 4 or more other units rested. So you do have to kind of commit a little bit more to get his full effect. But, you know, a 24 beater by itself isn't bad. And in Excel 2, it's 29. Excel 2, it's 29 by itself, which can really only be stopped by a heal trigger. So it's good with either Maelstrom. And then I run 4 of Tidal Assault and 4 of Algos. So in the end, we decided to go with the multi-attack build. We did, you know, like I said in the videos, which you should check out, by the way, Murakumo versus Glory Maelstrom, that I did test the just plain power build, not really worrying about multi-attacking, but the multi-attack build is like, it's a little bit weaker in power, but just like the pressure of having so many attacks in a turn is really what helps the deck. It's grade 2s. On to the grade 1s, which has like changed drastically the most. You run 4 of Wheel Assault. Wheel Assault is so good in this deck. He's your grade 1 ride target. Its skill is Counterblast 1 when it's ridden upon, draw a card, and call a card. Now, when it says call a card, it's not restricted to what grade your Vanguard is, because it's not a normal call. It's counted as a superior call because it's through his effect. So what I like to do is, if I have it in hand, I'll ride Algos or ride whatever unit I have, and if I can make 4 battles that turn, I'll call a Riptide Dragon, and it helps you make just such a good pressure turn, even if they do hit a defensive trigger. And then obviously his second ability is after he boosts, you can swap 2 rear guards, their circles, for free, which is really good in gaining extra attacks that your opponent did not expect you to have. Then I play 4 Nicholas. He's top 7 searcher for Algos. It's not really that consistent just because you only run 4 Algos in the deck, because that's the maximum amount of Algoses you have. But 3k power is nothing to sneeze at. It's really good for helping you make numbers, especially in the early game. And then another card that I feel like I don't see a lot of Aqua players running, but I feel like it's like kind of a must-of, especially for this build, is 4 of Penguin Soldier. Penguin Soldier works really well with Algos and works really well with Tidal Assault in your grade 2 rush if you're against Excel. I mean, not Excel, if you're against Force, because they're 10k Vanguards. And also because of his countercharge, because you are using Counterblast with Algos and your Vanguard skills, you don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to damage deny you, and then you can't really do much on your next turn. So that's why I feel like he's a staple at 4, just because he works really well with 8 of your grade 2s, and he is a countercharge engine at the 4th battle. Obviously, you don't have to run it at 4. I just run it at 4 because I always want to see it, just in case if my opponent decides to be cheeky and tries to damage deny me. Now, for the trigger lineup, we are playing 8 front, 4 draw, and 4 heal. Now, originally, in my Dummy Thick Maelstrom is what I like to call it. In my Dummy Thick Maelstrom build, I was testing out the crits because my philosophy was I want you to be at 5 as soon as possible because I'm not making multi-attacks. I'm making big number breaking attacks. I mean, you could always make multi-attacks with Wheel Assault, but like multi-attacking really wasn't the theme of the deck. It was make big numbers or like magic numbers. But in this version of the deck, since you are multi-attacking a lot and they are slightly smaller numbers, you do want the fronts, especially for your restanders like Tidal and Algos that can stand up a couple times. You really want the fronts just to have more pressure out on your opponent, and it kind of nullifies a defensive trigger more. And that's basically the deck profile, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about it down below. If you want to bounce some ideas, we can do that too. And that's it. I'm Master Beetle, and this is my glory build. Peace.